Hey guys, welcome back. I've got XEM here for Heli to start off with. I've also got a few coins of Rick's picks and a few of mine, and I think we have a catch-up one here, which is Matic. We'll get stuck into it, guys. I definitely don't want to keep this video going too long for you guys. So, starting off with XEM or NEM. We can see that price has wicked down into this 618. So whoever had their little stink bids working at the 618 got filled very nicely there. I do think that this will roll over and come back down to either test this low here or this candle body high here. I have checked for gaps. We don't have any gaps here that haven't already been filled in. We do have a gap here, but that will get filled in time. Not much to see in the histogram. We still do have convergence here. I did see on the 4-hour that we did make a lower low here, which tells me that we do have a little bit more further to go lower. Yeah, so we have made a lower low. Willie's technically not stupid just yet. OBV not doing too much. Has still pretty. Where are we here? Yeah, still doing okay. We have crossed over bearishly though. Would like to see this Williams percentage RW. Maybe this is the W and we break up higher for a bullish signal. We are getting some low volume here. You can see that we have had this double top with volume indicating that this was a bearish divergence. So the daily, we already looked at that. If we do go to the weekly, you can see that this has done a full market retrace. Actually, that will be on XEM, BTC, on Bittrex. So this still has a fair bit to go, in my opinion, to accumulate. So we could see that we have come back all the way down to test these lows down here. This is just normal market pullbacks. We do have this trend line off these highs here. We still have price is approximately here. We still do have a way to go till it breaks above this trend line. Unless it can do it here, we can get a nice bullish signal on the other side of the trend line for a bullish breakout. So yeah, that's what I am seeing on NEM or NEM. Targets, we could possibly see, we do have many nodes here in the volume profile which need to be filled in. So we could see, if it does break above this trend line, we could see it move from this high to this high to this high. Each one of these little pocks shows this pocket of resistance right here. Alrighty, moving on to FTM. I do like the look of this. If we zoom all the way out, so we have created this nice little fractal bottom here. Volume has stepped up. Bullish divergence has been shown here. Market has also been oversold, but right now it probably wouldn't be a buy for me. I'd be setting my bids. We do have a few nodes, a few notches here. Let's see if I can zoom in and find a decent range. So we do have a few nodes here. So if we do our fib study from which is the low, that's the low there, to this high. So where would I be looking to buy this? Would be somewhere in this region right here. So I'll be looking to probably set my bid somewhere in there. We have made a lower low on histogram. We can actually see a working bearish div on the histogram right here. This is actually quite a good example of bearish divergence. So where price is making higher highs internally, it's not. We do have a bearish div firing on the OBV, also bearish div firing in Willy. Volume is slightly dropping off. Let's have a look at the daily if we have any gaps anywhere. Shows that there's a gap somewhere here. Yeah, there is actually. So I'd probably be working my bids somewhere. Right there is that gap. I'll probably be putting my bid somewhere in the gap there anyway. So that is FTM. Moving on to Dusk. We'll zoom out to the daily. This one also looks very similar to FTM. We see this nice this nice double bottom or a W bottom here. We can see that Willy has been stupidly oversold for a while. Volume is being ramped up. Let's check out these volume numbers first. So that's 21.63. Okay, that's so we have established a bottom here on this dusk. So if I was to look for an entry, yeah, this volume bar. Wow, okay, cool. So if I was to look for an entry on this coin, I'd be working somewhere in this zone here. Wouldn't be too bad. We can see the POC is sitting right here, so I think I'll probably be working my bid somewhere in here. Let's check on the daily if I can look for any gaps. Any gaps? There's a gap. So there's a gap here. There is a gap here that's already been filled in. So yeah, that's actually not too bad. I'll be keeping my alerts on this one. Actually, I think I did forget something on NEM here. If we could, I did spot this a little bit earlier, was if we can get something like this happening. Just ignore this tail. This tail doesn't exist on the Binance chart. So if we did that from there to there, clone. So we could see price come back. We could see price projection come back up here. So it's like an AB equals CD move, and which coincides with these lows right here as resistance. So yeah, that was one thing that I forgot about that. We were done with Dusk. On to VET. I do see a lot of people talking about this. This could also be, it does look a little bit inverse head and shouldersy. Volume, let's check out volume on this. What do we got here? 864. Okay, so we don't have volume confirmation on this. Again, if I was to look to enter this coin, I'd probably be looking at it. So these tails on this still need to be eaten, it looks like. Price. So I'd expect price to come back down, eat these tails. Any gaps that need filling? No, that's been filled in. It is kind of like Swiss cheese anyway. The POC is sitting right here. Could we get a test of this 200 MA? Maybe. But I would like to see it come back down into that reload zone. Actually, we do see a bearish divergence, so price making higher highs here while the histogram is not. We do have a bearish div fired in Willy and bearish div fired in the OBV. Let me just check out the volume here. So we got 864. Yeah. So this volume bar is lower than this one here, so that means there is a bearish div working on volume as well. So yeah, I'd probably be waiting to buy it somewhere in this zone here. Alright, moving on to Matic. This was one trade that we took 2 weeks ago. Doing really well on this. I did do an extension study, so I've done the high of this wick here down to here with the extensions. It did just come short of that 618. Currently, we're seeing a empire fractal working here. So if we finish below this this candle, it'll be a reversal happening. So if this candle here can finish below this purple line, we could expect price to come back down. If we are expecting to be buyers of this, we could possibly work our bids off. Actually, this shark setup off the 786 wouldn't be too bad. But I did do an AB equals CD objective for this, and it seems like it's been hit. Let's see what this last candle does anyway. I don't think this is quite finished yet. Histogram, I don't see any bearish divergence in the histogram. Volume, this volume bar here is not lower than any of these other bars, so we could possibly see a continuation higher here. So maybe we could have an AB equals CD off of this move. It does seem to be holding this 382 fib. If we can get some price structure off this 382 fib, we could see it potentially resolve bullishly. Failure, we should come back down to this to our buy zone. So yeah, this is a wait and watch to see if we can get some structure off that 382. Alrighty, moving on to LBC. Oh damn. Alrighty, this candle didn't form while I was looking at this. I did see a bullish div fire here on OBV. Willy is extremely stupid. What do we see in the histogram? So price is making lower lows while the histogram is moving up above the 0 line. While I was looking at this, I would have risked, I think it was on this candle here earlier that I was looking at it, and I would have risked to this low, so I would have been stopped out on this. So yeah, I won't be looking at this for a while till we can get some sort of accumulation where we can establish some sort of bottom. Alrighty, that one I'll set alerts and come back to next time. Moving on, this is Perlin, or Pearl I think is the ticker. And this is actually looking quite nice on the 4 hour. Let's check it out on the daily. So there's not much here. We do have a bearish div fire in OBV and in Willy. Histogram is still don't have much information there. This seems like a very recent added coin to, I think it's Binance. Must be new. When was it listed? Somewhere August this year then. Okay, cool. So it is currently sitting, price is sitting around the POC here. We do have two nodes that price could fill in. Price is looking like it wants to fill in this section right here. We do have this big node. Could we go all the way up to value high? That is possible. I did take a swing high to swing low to see where price could go up to on the entire range. 382 is pretty feasible, where we do run into a fair bit of traffic here and here. So yeah, so from current price to where it is now with 80 odd percent potential, I do like what I see in the OBV. Looks very healthy. I'm not sure if we've made a higher high on the histogram. No, we have not. But this one is still printing. So if this bar here can print higher than here, I'd say we have a continuation. But just looking at this candle pattern formation here, where we just had that, where we've had a shooting star, and the next candle to form is a bearish candle. If it fails below this candle right here, the tail right here, that'll be a little fractal top signal for reversal. What's the volume bar for this? 24, 22. So we actually could have a continuation off here. So if we did draw our fibs from there to there, so it is currently at this 382. Could we come back down to here or here? You guys already know where I like to buy. I would like to be a buyer somewhere in here. But yeah. So right now I'm not really happy where price is at the moment. I do want price to come back down to me. Let's see if there are any gaps on the daily. There is a gap there, so there's a gap between this candle. There is a gap there that looks like it's already been filled in. Any gaps on the 4-hour? Gap here, gap here. So there is, I think there is a gap. There we go, found it. So there's a gap right there. So that's probably where I'll be setting my alerts. Sometimes with these, I don't even know what the market cap of this coin is, but sometimes we can get price rammed down into this. So if you have your bids working, you get filled. And if we do get that bounce, you're laughing. Stop loss would probably be somewhere down, probably on this low right here. But yeah, that is Pearl. Did want to have a look at Dent. This was a disaster when they took the BTC pairing off and only left the USDT, I think, and the Ethereum pair. If I was to trade this, I have done a swing high to swing low with my fibs, looking at taking profit at the 382. The risk reward on this is a 1 to nearly 8. I don't know if you guys can see that, and that's not a bad. I mean, the minimum that I look for is a 1 to 2 risk reward, and this is a 1 to 8, and you'll be risking to that bottom as a stop loss. I do like this bullish div coming in, histogram right here. Could we see a little bit more structure maybe? I do like the look of Willie with a nice little divergence here. OBV, I think that is a little tiny div right there. But all in all, I don't mind the look of this. I'll probably be looking at setting some bids on this too. Volume is dropping off here, which I would like to see either the bulls or bears step in. I did notice here in volume profile that we do have a pretty chunky notch here in volume profile for price to play in. Could we come back up to this 618 or 786? Very possible. That would kind of coincide with the top of value. That's pretty much what I see with Dent. I mean, even if you were to do a 1 to 2 risk reward, so that's roughly there. I mean, that's pretty decent, even with your stop loss all the way down here. But yeah, my target would probably be somewhere. Probably the 382. I'd be looking maybe for a 50%. I do like this big notch in VPVR, which confirms that price does need to come back up in here and fill this hole. So yeah, I did want to have a look, a bit of an overview on Bitcoin. Bitcoin has made a lower low in the histogram here. To me, that is not really a good sign. If we can get some sort of structure in this uh, histogram, something along these lines, and if that can create a bullish div where I don't think we are quite finished here. It's something just seems very fishy with me. We do have this trend line that still needs to be broken. So technically, we still are bearish. I did have a look that if price does come back up into this kind of resistance area, which is between the 786 and 618. We also have this trend line that could act as resistance. If we do get rejected here, we could possibly see a AB equals CD bearish move. That's a potential, guys. So don't quote me or don't lynch me if it doesn't go according to plan, just like any other trades we do. But we could see this AB equals CD move down here, which would actually line up with this tail right here that I think eventually needs to be eaten anyway. So that's technically what I'm seeing with Bitcoin at the moment. We still are stuck in this trading range, which is a pretty wide trading range. What are we here? So nearly $1,000 trading range right here. So yeah, not much to say in Bitcoin, but it is giving alts some room to breathe. So that'll be all for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.